You're right, guys. Welcome to Football and Fitness United. My name's James, and it's game day. It's been a while since I've done one of these. If you're watching me on Twitter, hop over to the YouTube. Come and watch over here. All helps with everything. Hit the like button. StreamYard link is in the chat if you want to come and join me. And yeah, let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the team news. Absolute madness. Like no one could predict what Erik ten Hag was going to do. I can't believe there's no Fred in the team. Absolute madness. But if you've not seen the teams, we'll get into it. We'll go through it. I'll give a couple more people a chance to join and stuff. Like I said, if you're coming from Twitter, come on the YouTube. All helps publicize, helps the algorithm. And you can get involved in the chat as well. It's an interactive show. So please do come via YouTube and get involved. But yeah, 4:30 kickoff, Man United versus Arsenal at the Emirates. They're 8 points ahead of us. Win and it's 5 points. Lose and it's 11 points. So really, really big game. And we'll start off with the Arsenal team. Arsenal have basically gone what I consider full strength for them at the moment, which is Ramsdale in net. They've got Ben White at right back. They've got Zinchenko at left back. They've got Saliba and Gabriel in the middle. Then they've got a midfield three of Thomas Partey, Xhaka and Martin Odegaard. Then they've got a front three of Saka, Martinelli and Nketiah. So pretty much as expected with regards to Mikel Arteta. And the Arsenal team, to be fair, big up, man. What's happening? I'm not at the game, man. I tried my best to get a ticket. It was really, really hard. They were like rocking horse shit, to be honest. I tried. I then reached out to the guys down south in the studio because I thought I'll be able to watch it there, but just didn't get a reply. So I'm in Manchester, unfortunately, just watching the game on Sky like everyone else and hoping for a good result. If anyone wants to jump in, then as I said, StreamYard link is there. You don't have to download an app or anything. Just put the link in your Chrome browser, click on it, and basically, as long as you've got an iPhone or Android or whatever and a camera, you can come on and chat and we'll do the reaction. But yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? So we'll go through the Man United team, and it is not as expected, really. Not from a lot of people that I spoke to beforehand anyway. So we've got David De Gea in net. I think that picks itself. We've got what is arguably our first choice back four at the moment in Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back, Luke Shaw at left back, Rafael Varane and Lisandro Martinez as the centre backs. That's all cool. That's all good. I think everyone predicted that basically. Midfield three of McTominay, Eriksen and Bruno. Front three of Rashford, Antony and Weghorst. So let's dig into it, right? Because I actually said this was an option. I did a show last night with Saeed and a couple of guys, and I said if he wants to attack, then he's not going to play Bruno on the right. He needs to play to Weghorst's strengths, right? Weghorst is very good at holding the ball up and laying it off, but you need pace around him. So if you're going to play Weghorst, it's no good playing Bruno on the right. If you're going to play him centre forward, you need Rashford and Garnacho or Rashford and Antony on the wings, and you need Bruno centrally to find that ball once Weghorst has laid it off. And he has gone attacking. So I basically predicted that 11, apart from I had Fred in instead of Eriksen because Eriksen's been tiring recently. So that's the one I'm shocked with because Fred did an awesome job, an absolutely awesome job. So I'm pretty shocked. Red Dead United couldn't go. Trains were packed from Manchester to London, but were packed. Yeah, apparently it was chaos to get down. Steffi, how are you doing, love? You okay? I don't know if I replied to your last message or not, but I probably should shoot you a message at some point. But hope you are all good, love. Where are you watching the game today? Wherever you are, hope you enjoy it. It's going to be a madness for sure. But yeah, back to that team. As I said, you've got to play to Weghorst's strengths if you're going to play him, right? So you have to play with pace around him. That's the only thing you can do. We know Arsenal are a better footballing team. We know they're going to have more of the ball. When United have beat Arsenal in the recent past, it's all been counter-attacking football. It's all been pace on the quick break, and it's worked. And there's no better people than Marcus Rashford at that. And you can argue Bruno finding him and Antony. Antony scored in the first game. Listen, it's as aggressive a team as Ten Hag could realistically pick with what was available. It really is. And actually, with the exception of McTominay, if Casemiro is available, I still think that's the strong, like you put Casemiro in for McTominay, but I still think that's the 11 that he would have picked, right? I still think he's picking Weghorst. I don't think he's picking Rashford and then Antony and Garnacho. I think Rashford out wide against Ben White is a result, to be fair. or actually he'll probably play on the left now. So he'll be playing. He'll be playing against Ben White. So it's going to be a big battle, that one for sure. So I put up a tweet before, and I think people were shocked by this because I've not seen it mentioned anywhere at all. Not seen it mentioned. But Arsenal haven't beaten a top 14 this year. They haven't. So everyone they've beaten, fair play, they're top of the league. They deserve to be. But the current top four is Arsenal, Man City, Man United, and Newcastle. So let's look at Arsenal. They've played Man United once. They lost. They played Newcastle once. They drew. They've not played Man City yet at all. So all these people thinking they're a shoo-in for the title and that we've got no chance today, rubbish. Don't buy it. Absolutely do not buy it at all. Manchester United have a great chance today because we have a great manager. And I said on a stream last night, everyone's been saying, back the manager, back the manager. And they've been backing him all season. And, he's been doing fantastic and we're in a much better place than we were last season. The team's growing, the team's gelling, the team's playing good football. We're on a 20-game unbeaten. Like, we've lost one time in 20 games. We're on an 11-game unbeaten run. We're doing well. And everyone's like, yeah, backing the manager, Ten Hag in. He's doing an amazing job. And then 79 minutes into the Crystal Palace game, yeah, still doing an amazing job. Eric Ten Hag's doing amazing. 91 minutes into the Crystal Palace game, Casemiro gets a booking and they score a worldie of a free kick. All of a sudden, it's season over. Can't beat Arsenal now. Well, wait a minute. Were you backing Eric Ten Hag or were you just backing Casemiro? Because if you're backing Eric Ten Hag and you're backing the manager, you've got to back the fact that he can come up with a plan and come up with a way to nullify and get a result against Arsenal and win the game. You have to back him. So I don't get this whole Casemiro is an incredible footballer. Of course he is. I'm not arguing that. But to say that we can't win the game because he's not playing is just not true. It's 100% not true. I'll bring up Steffi's comment. In Eric we trust. People were literally, they were so strong behind him as manager. Me included. I wanted him as manager. Of course I did. And it's like, if you're going to be so strong behind him as manager, then you have to get behind him. And that's regardless of who he picks. Like, yes, the squad may be weak, but other squads are weak in the league as well. I'm not having this as an excuse. I'm really not. Marcus Rashford can do damage to anyone on his day. Weghorst was good in the first 45 minutes against Palace. It's unfair to look at the second 45 because one, he came off early, and two, the whole team was poor in that second half. And Anthony scored in the first game, and he's got, 5 goals in a Man United shirt, and people think he's been a flop. We have the tools to hurt Arsenal. Arsenal, of course, have the tools to hurt us. Not doubting that, right? However, I do think we can succeed is if we make them play out wide, we have Luke Shaw left back and Aaron Wan-Bissaka right back. I actually think that they're two of the best one-on-one defenders in the league. Luke Shaw because of his football intelligence and his positional play, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka because of his pace and tackling ability. They're both excellent one-on-one defenders. So I actually trust Shaw and Wan-Bissaka to deal with Martinelli and Saka very well, even though they're outrageously good players. My worry was Fred doing the same job on Odegaard that he did on De Bruyne, because De Bruyne got free for a moment and they got an assist for the Grealish goal. Now Fred's not playing, it's an even bigger worry because it puts much more emphasis on Eriksen and McTominay doing a job. And that's not me saying they can't do a job, because they obviously can. But that's going to be crucial for me. I think the crucial part of the pitch is Odegaard centrally, because we're not going to win that midfield battle centrally. Bruno, Eriksen and McTominay don't have enough to beat Xhaka, Partey and Odegaard with Zinchenko and Ben White tucked in. I don't think they do. So Odegaard is going to be key. I don't like the fact that they could get out wide potentially. Like, crosses don't worry me into Nketiah, really. It's the pullbacks to the edge of the box. And if McTominay or Eriksen let their man go, then all of a sudden you've got Odegaard arriving, you've got Partey arriving, you've got Xhaka arriving, and they have got history of scoring like goals from outside the box against us, especially at the Emirates. So I am a bit worried about that. Red Dead United, I was punching my laptop watching that stream you was on yesterday. You're the only one that was speaking any sense. Listen, like, I'm optimistic as a United fan, right? The other guys may be less optimistic, and that's absolutely fine. You see it how you see it. But if you're going to say that Eric Ten Hag's the best thing since sliced bread, you can't cry when a player's out. You just can't. Like, you either trust in the manager and the philosophy and the fact that he can come up with a plan, or you think we've got a great squad. But all I've done is hear you moan about the squad for the past couple of weeks. So it can't be the fact we have a great squad. Can't be that. Bruno needs to show discipline. My captain, he does. And in fairness to him, this season, he's been an excellent captain. Excellent captain. I was averse to him being vice captain because I don't think, if you look at all the attributes needed to be captain or what you would think a captain or a leader would be, I don't think Bruno has basically any of them. I think he's overly emotional. I don't think he's tough in the tackle. He shirks tackles all the time. He's not physically strong. I just like, he makes poor decisions. He gives the ball away a lot. I just don't like, on paper, I don't think he's a great captain. However, on paper, Wayne Rooney was a great captain, but actually, if you look at his record, not so great. So it doesn't always work out like that. And actually, Bruno's turned out to be a fantastic captain. So I have no problem with that. But I do sense that there could be a red card in this game, depending on how it's managed. You look at Xhaka, you look at Bruno, and yes, you can say like, oh, they're different this season, but this fixture in that stadium, with them top of the league, this literally has the potential to, it has the potential to explode, I think. 1 minute, let me just move my mic. Which stream was that? Red Dead, yeah, he's answered it below. It was on Saeed. So Saeed got me on the debate show last night. It was me, Danny, Saeed, Cass, and one more guy. I can't remember who it was. But yeah, there was 5 of us. It was a good debate. Danny obviously brings all his logical points and stuff, and he was bigging up Arsenal, and as he should. They're a fantastic team. In our predictions, I think Saeed went 2-2. I think Cass went 2-1 United. I went 3-1 United. I think Danny went 1-1, and I can't remember for the life of me what the other prediction was. But it was an interesting stream. But I just reiterated the same points I've made today. I think you've got to believe. It's not about playing the best football. It's not about being the best team. It's about having a plan and executing that plan. And that's what it's always been about. I've been a fan for a long time. And I know there's plenty of people that have been fans longer than me, but you go back to 99, we lost Keane and Scholes for the final. So Casemiro, we've lost today. And it's like, but we got battered by Bayern for 90 minutes and we scored 2 goals in a couple of minutes and won the Champions League. If you go to 2008, when we won it again, we got battered by Barcelona over 2 legs. Paul Scholes pulled out a worldie. We win 1-0. You then go under Ole, under Mourinho. We've been to City numerous times. We've been battered and won. We've gone to the Emirates. De Gea's made 30-odd saves. We've won. So it's not about playing the best football. It's about getting the result on the day. And football's a great leveler because at the end of the day, you can go on about all the stats you want, but one stat matters, and that's goals scored. If you score more than the opposition, you win the game, you get the points. Simple as. Decisions go out the window, shots on target, expected goals, all that stuff goes out the window. It's all about getting the 3 points and getting the win. Red for Arsenal, no problem. I hope so, Steffi. I really do. I would like a bit of humility in that fan base. They are playing great football. They are a fantastic football team. But as I said before, they have not beaten anyone in the top 4 yet. They've not. They've lost to us. They've drawn to Newcastle and they've not played City yet. So we will see what they're made of when their next 18 games consists of Newcastle, us, and City twice. Because that's 4 out of 18 games that I consider really tough. And you've then got some of the other big teams in there as well. So yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting. So yeah, it was just a quick team news reaction, basically. I'm happy with that team. I'm surprised with Fred out and Eriksen in, but the rest of it was fairly predictable. It's attacking from Erik ten Hag for sure. Definitely, he's played Weghorst. He's played to his strengths. He's played the 2 fast players either side of him. I think that's a great call by Eric. And listen, how the game pans out is going to be massively important because their crowd is up for it this season. And you don't normally say that at the Emirates, but their crowd is up for it. And I don't even think from what I've seen so far, even if we go a goal up, I don't think you're going to quieten that crowd. Like they came back against Fulham, I think, and won the game there. So I think unless we get like a 2-goal lead somehow, I don't think you're really going to quieten the crowd. I think you're just going to have to deal with a hostile atmosphere all game. You're going to have to stay on it and concentrate it for 90 minutes. And there's going to be like literally no excuse. Red Dead United nerves are starting to kick in. I don't get nervous this season. It's a really weird one. I'm just like, I trust my manager. I'm in anticipation for the game, and it's going to be a great game. And like I said, like I obviously want us to win. I think we can win, and I think we're going to win. But if we for some reason lose this game of football, my stance doesn't change. I still know that after 20 games, 21 games, Erik ten Hag is doing a fantastic job at Manchester United, and he's the man to lead Manchester United forward. I'm well aware of that. So the result, yeah, okay, you can be nervous about it, but it's like the only people that are really nervous, it's like the people that are worried about being clipped up or bantered by Arsenal fans. Like the less you start to worry about being bantered by other fans, and the more you support your own football club, the happier your life will be. Honestly, because why are you caring what some stranger or some person you barely know online says about your team? You concentrate on your team, they concentrate on their team. Whoever does the best at the end of the season will win the league or will do the best. Like I don't care about being bantered by other fans. I don't care about being clipped up, which is why I so openly said that we were in a title race. Of course we were. We were 1 point behind City at one point, so you can't say we weren't. And if we win today, Arsenal still have all those games to play, and we'll be 8 points behind them and a few behind City. We are in a race if we win today. If we don't, then it's a different story. But people are so worried about being clipped up and being made to look a fool. It's like, I'm not a fool for supporting my team and believing we can do well. I've seen this team do many miraculous things over the past in ridiculous situations, far worse than this. So don't tell me I'm being ridiculous for believing in my football team. Because I put out another tweet. There was a very popular Arsenal fan that was selling Arteta out shirts 2 years ago. Things move quick, don't they? Very, very quick. This is a test. Whatever comes, I hope we learn something from it. Erik ten Hag has learned from every defeat he's had. Learned from Brighton, learned from Brentford, definitely learned from City, and definitely learned from Villa. We've gone on a run basically after all those games. So the fact we've lost one game in 20 shows that Erik ten Hag learns. He definitely learned from the first City game because he flooded the midfield in the second City game. And yeah, I trust in our manager. Adam, big up, man. Good to see you. Personally, I think this team isn't being given enough credit. Our front three and our press from them is going to be vital. Can still see us winning from this. Yeah, people have flipped when they've seen Weghorst in the team, but he's in there for a reason. We need an outlet up top. And no, he's not got the pace to run in behind, but that's what Rashford and Antony are for. Weghorst is there to hold the ball off, lay it to people like Bruno and Eriksen, and then to spray it out wide and find that quick ball over the top to your Rashfords. If Weghorst can bring out Saliba, if Weghorst can bring out Gabriel, hold the ball up, lay it off, find it to Bruno, Rashford makes that running behind, I can see us getting a couple of goals that way. I really, really can. The only thing I'm worried about is just getting blitzed in the first 3 minutes, like what they did to Liverpool. Listen, mate, it can happen, but the character of the team has to be better than that. It has to be stronger than that. I'm not having this like, oh yeah, you go 1-0 down, you lose your heads. We're Man United, we're better than that. Erik ten Hag came out a while ago and said you need characters at the football club. You need characters that can stand up and be counted. And that doesn't mean you have to win every game, but it does mean you have to fight for 90 minutes every game and believe you can win every game. That's what it does mean. People are scared to put their neck on the line because rivals will throw banter. Who cares, man? Like, genuinely, who cares? I'm never going to see most of these people. They're literally online. So many people are worried about what other people think of them. So what? I did a stream last night in a tight V-neck, got loads of shit for it. Give a shit. I wear what I want. Like, do you think anyone saying anything negative in the comment section is A, more successful than you, B, in better shape than you, or C, happier than you? No, because the more successful people haven't got time to be on chatting shit to strangers. The happier people have got better things to be doing with their life than chatting shit to strangers online. So if anyone's giving you banter and chatting shit about you, it's fucking pointless. I don't care. You do you. James, do you think you're one result away from the gaffer asking our owners for a player? Ten Hag can ask our owners for whatever he wants, but there's no money. There's been no money for ages. There's 18 million cash in the bank. There's 150. There's 200 million pound basically in loans that have to be paid back by 2024. We're 600 million pound in debt. We've taken 850 million pounds in interest on the debt, and the Glazers have taken 150 million pounds in dividends. All the information is out there in black and white. If you think there's money, then you also think there's pigs that fly and like money that grows on trees. It doesn't exist. I understand why content creators put content out there saying we're linked to this £100 million player, we're linked to this £50 million player. People have to make a living. People want transfer stories. That's what gets clicks. It makes money. I get it. But if you read the black and white, we're not in for anyone. I guarantee that. Literally guarantee it. I said it in like November time. Said it throughout November, December while everyone was getting excited about Gakpo and Enzo Fernandez. And I can show you the tweets. It's not happening. People just don't. They believe what they want to hear. They don't believe what the fact is. The fact is there's no money. It's very simple. Very, very simple. There's no money. We're not going to sign anyone. It's called confirmation bias. You go into something more likely believing what you want to hear and not what is actually factual. But is what it is. 4 o'clock. I'm going to turn this off now. I'm going to go back. I'm going to put on Sky and I'm going to hope and pray. Before you go, put at the bottom, please like the video, comment, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Big up all the people in the chat. Big up everyone that was watching on Twitter. I'll probably come on at halftime. If I do, come on the YouTube, click on the StreamYard, and then you can join in the chat. It's all good. And yeah, apart from that, this has been Football and Fitness United. I've been James, and we'll see you soon, I guess.